The morning sun barely cut through the dense fog over the SEAL training compound when everyone first laid eyes on her, 10-year-old Lily Sparrow Matthews, standing at the edge of the obstacle course with a mix of determination and innocence that made even the grizzled instructors pause, because the whispers had started long before she had set foot on the ground. A 10-year-old? Here. This isn't for children, and she won't last a minute, and yet there she was, uniform oversized, sneakers scuffed, hair pulled back tightly, eyes bright and focused, body poised as if she had been built for this very moment, and when the first whistle blew, signaling the start of the day's physical evaluation, Lily didn't hesitate, launching forward with explosive energy, vaulting over mud pits, swinging across ropes, balancing on beams, all while the seasoned SEAL recruits, men and women, twice or thrice her age, struggled behind her, some muttering in disbelief, some openly laughing, and some, just for a moment, forgetting the stakes entirely because she moved like a force of nature, small but impossibly fast, light on her feet, dodging, pivoting, anticipating, and adapting instinctively to the unpredictable challenges, and when a towering recruit attempted to block her path at the rope's swing, expecting to leverage size against her, Lily pivoted mid-air, swinging with perfect precision and sent him stumbling into a mud pit, chest heaving, eyes wide in shock, while she landed lightly, barely slowing her momentum, eyes scanning the next obstacle, and already the observers, veteran instructors, senior SEALs and fellow recruits, were whispering incredulous, "How is she doing that? She's faster than half of them. I've never seen reflexes like that." And even the head instructor, Colonel Harris, leaned forward, adjusting his glasses, his voice caught between skepticism and awe, because here was a child not just surviving the course, but dominating it, calculating angles, gauging distance, and reading the environment with the precision of a seasoned operative. And the first set of hand-to-hand drills began and Lily didn't flinch. She moved with uncanny coordination, sidestepping, countering, redirecting. Momentum with a strength and accuracy no one expected, neutralizing the aggression of opponents twice her size, and when a burly recruit lunged recklessly, she pivoted, redirected his momentum into a padded wall, and moved on without hesitation, muscles burning, heart racing, yet mind perfectly clear, and the yard buzzed with a mixture of awe, disbelief, and hesitant respect. Whispers rippling through the compound like wildfire, "She's untouchable, how is she doing this? No one else can keep up," and Lily allowed herself a small smile, humor threading subtly through the intensity, because she understood instinctively that domination wasn't just physical, it was mental, psychological, and the ability to project confidence, strategy, and adaptability in every movement. And as the simulation transitioned to a surprise tactical exercise, team-based urban navigation under simulated threat, Lily took command naturally, directing older, more experienced recruits with concise, authoritative gestures, issuing rapid commands, scanning angles, and predicting threats before they emerged, and when the simulation began, chaos erupted. Recruits scrambling, opponents lunging, obstacles shifting, hazards appearing, yet Lily flowed through it all with effortless precision, neutralizing threats, coordinating teammates, exploiting missteps, and maintaining momentum, because she knew instinctively that fear and hesitation spread faster than bullets, and she used that knowledge to dominate the environment, striking with surgical precision, redirecting aggression, anticipating movements, and keeping her team aligned, every step deliberate, calculated, and confident, while the instructors observed, some mouths agape, some furiously scribbling notes, recognizing that this child possessed a combination of speed, intelligence, and situational awareness they had never seen. A rare blend of instinct, courage, and tactical genius, and as the final phase of the exercise arrived, timed extraction across uneven terrain with simulated enemy fire, obstacles, and traps, Lily surged forward with explosive energy, hoisting her gear, vaulting barricades, sliding under low-hanging beams, rolling, pivoting, and landing with perfect balance, every move a testament to discipline, training, and innate skill, while the other recruits, exhausted and struggling, gasped, slipped, and stumbled, muttering disbelief, and Lily allowed herself a fleeting, quiet chuckle, thinking, storms don't ask permission, because she had proven beyond doubt that size, age, and experience could not predict dominance, and as she crossed the extraction line with flawless execution, breath heaving, mud and sweat streaked across her small frame, she glanced back to see the reactions. Wide eyes, slack jaws, whispers of awe, murmurs of disbelief, and Colonel Harris finally spoke, voice tinged with both pride and astonishment. "She's extraordinary," and in that moment Lily knew that she had not only survived the impossible challenge but had rewritten the expectations of everyone present, leaving the lingering sense of suspense, admiration, and the undeniable knowledge that the next challenge, The real mission, the next trial, the next unexpected threat, was just over the horizon, and she would face it head-on, untouchable, unstoppable, and ready for anything the SEAL world could throw at her. The sun had barely risen over the training compound when Lily Sparrow Matthews received the briefing for the day's operation. A high-intensity urban simulation designed to test situational awareness, team coordination, and rapid decision-making under pressure. And as she scanned the layout, a network of narrow alleys, multi-story buildings, hidden traps, and simulated hostels, she felt a thrill surge through her, muscles coiling, mind sharpening, because this was where instinct, strategy, and agility collided, and her first challenge appeared almost immediately. A rival recruit, Marcus Titan Cade, a towering, experienced SEAL with a reputation for brute strength and aggressive tactics, was assigned to her squad with a clear, unspoken expectation that he would dominate, intimidate, and control every engagement, and the moment their eyes met, Lily sensed the subtle challenge, a silent acknowledgement that only one of them could take command under the chaos to come, and as the simulation began, the narrow corridors erupted with controlled chaos, smoke, alarms, simulated gunfire, and environmental hazards, while Lily led her team forward with astonishing composure, signaling concise commands, maintaining spatial awareness, and predicting threats before they emerged, and Titan lunged at the first obstacle with raw aggression, attempting to assert dominance, but Lily pivoted instinctively, redirecting his momentum into a padded wall, eyes bright, heart steady, and, without missing a beat, vaulted over a barricade, sliding under a low beam and landing perfectly aligned with her team, maintaining the flow of movement, and as they entered the next zone, a simulated hostage rescue, Titan tried to intercept, using size and speed to overwhelm her, but Lily's small frame moved like a shadow, fluid, unpredictable, countering, sidestepping, and neutralizing his efforts with precision, all while issuing crisp commands to teammates, maintaining cohesion, and exploiting the chaotic environment to her advantage. And the instructors, observing from above, murmured in disbelief, "She's moving faster than anyone should. Her reflexes are beyond training. I've never seen situational awareness like that in someone this small." And Lily allowed herself a small, wry smile, humor threading subtly through the intensity, because she understood instinctively that dominance was mental as much as physical. And as the mission escalated, environmental hazards became more complex. Collapsing stairwells, narrow walkways over simulated water, hidden tripwires, and smoke obscuring vision, all designed to disorient, slow, and challenge the recruits, yet Lily flowed through it seamlessly, adjusting strategies instantly, predicting Titan's moves, directing teammates, and neutralizing simulated hostiles with surgical precision, muscles burning, lungs heaving, mind operating at hyperspeed. And when Titan attempted a daring flank, hoping to cut her team off from the extraction point, Lily anticipated it perfectly, pivoted mid-step, and used his momentum against him, sending him tumbling into a simulated barricade, chest heaving, eyes wide, while she pressed forward, maintaining the rhythm, the coordination, and the morale of her team. And as they navigated the final zone, an extraction across uneven terrain under simulated hostile fire, the stakes escalated further. Obstacles shifted, hazards appeared, and timing was critical, yet Lily moved with explosive energy, vaulting over barricades, sliding under low-hanging beams, executing flawless rolls, pivots, and takedowns, all while keeping her team aligned, guiding their movements, and ensuring no one faltered under pressure. And as they reached the extraction point, Lily executed the final maneuver with perfect timing, landing lightly, signaling her team forward, while Titan rose slowly, a grudging respect evident in his eyes. Muttering under his breath, "You've earned this, but don't think it ends here." And Lily allowed herself a faint, triumphant smile, breath ragged, uniform streaked with sweat and mud, muscles trembling from exertion, knowing that she had not only overcome her first rival in a high-stakes tactical simulation but had also proven her leadership, adaptability, and instinctive dominance under pressure. And as the instructors erupted in astonishment, whistles shrieking, radios crackling, murmurs of disbelief spreading, "She's untouchable. I've never seen reflexes like that. Her tactical awareness is beyond comprehension." Lily's mind already raced ahead, analyzing every decision, every maneuver, anticipating the next challenge, because the storm she embodied, the combination of skill, instinct, and fearlessness, was far from finished. And she whispered under her breath, humor and steel threading through her words, "The storm doesn't just survive, it dominates," leaving a lingering sense of suspense, anticipation, and the undeniable knowledge that the next mission, the next rival, and the next high-stakes test were only just beginning, and that Lily Sparrow Matthews would meet them all head-on, untouchable, unstoppable, and ready for anything the SEAL world could throw at her. The third day of training began with an unusual intensity, the instructors gathering the recruits under a gray, clouded sky, announcing that today's mission would simulate real-world conditions with maximum unpredictability, environmental hazards and high-pressure tactical decisions. And Lily Sparrow Matthews felt a surge of anticipation, muscles coiling, mind sharpening, because this was no longer a controlled exercise of obstacles and minor rivalries. This was a simulation designed to test endurance, adaptability, leadership, and split-second decision-making under conditions meant to mimic actual combat. And as she stepped into the compound, a sprawling, multi-level urban environment littered with debris, hidden hazards, and simulated hostiles, her senses immediately went on high alert, scanning for movement, listening for subtle shifts in sound, assessing angles of approach, and predicting potential threats. And from the first moment the chaos began. Alarms blared, smoke filled the corridors, unexpected obstacles appeared, and simulated gunfire rang out, forcing recruits to react instantly. Yet Lily moved with fluid precision, directing her teammates, pivoting, countering, neutralizing threats, and maintaining formation, all while calculating risk, timing, and opportunity, because instinctive leadership and tactical foresight were the difference between failure and domination. And as she advanced, a sudden, unexpected complication arose. A simulated structural collapse blocked their planned route, forcing an immediate reroute, requiring rapid recalculation of paths, coordination with her team, and improvisation to maintain the integrity of the mission. And without hesitation, Lily scanned the environment, identified a viable alternative, signaling her team with clear, concise gestures, while simultaneously neutralizing a simulated hostile attempting to flank them, muscles screaming, lungs burning, mind operating at hyperspeed. And the instructors observed in astonishment, murmurs spreading. Her situational awareness is insane. I've never seen someone adapt that fast. She's rewriting the rules. And the challenge escalated further as rival teams entered the simulation, attempting to intercept, sabotage, and disrupt her mission. And Lily, recognizing the threat immediately, adjusted tactics, coordinated teammates, anticipated attacks, and executed maneuvers with precision, countering flanks, redirecting momentum, and maintaining the morale and cohesion of her team under intense pressure. While obstacles multiplied, narrow walkways over simulated hazards, smoke obscuring vision, alarms intermittently triggering, and timed extractions forcing critical decision-making. And Lily navigated each with a combination of instinctive skill and rapid analytical thinking, all while leading older, more experienced recruits, issuing rapid commands, signaling positions, and neutralizing threats. And when a rival operative attempted a high-risk interception, she anticipated the feint, countered with perfect timing, and redirected him into a simulated barrier, chest heaving, eyes wide with disbelief, while she continued forward, eyes sharp, mind focused. And as the team approached the extraction point, a final, unexpected twist awaited. The route was rigged with complex, layered obstacles designed to challenge coordination, timing, and adaptability, including collapsing structures, simulated explosives, and surprise enemy positions. And Lily, reading the situation instantly, orchestrated the team's movements, guiding them with clarity and precision, executing pivots, rolls, jumps, and takedowns flawlessly, muscles screaming, heart racing, lungs burning, mind razor sharp. And the instructors, observing from above, erupted with astonishment, whistles shrieking, radios crackling, murmurs of disbelief spreading. She's untouchable. Her instincts are beyond comprehension. I've never seen reflexes like that. And when the final extraction was executed with surgical precision, Lily allowed herself a fleeting, triumphant smile, breath ragged, uniform streaked with mud and sweat, eyes bright, because she had not only survived the first real-world mission simulation but had dominated it, leading her team flawlessly, adapting instantaneously, and neutralizing every threat with precision and instinct. And yet even in victory her mind raced ahead, analyzing every obstacle, every maneuver, every unexpected complication, knowing that the true challenges of the SEAL world, chaos, unpredictability, and split-second life-or-death decisions, were only just beginning. And with a quiet whisper under her breath, a blend of humor and steel threading through her words, she said, "The storm doesn't break, and neither do we," leaving the lingering sense of suspense, anticipation, and undeniable knowledge that Lily Sparrow Matthews was far from finished, untouchable, unstoppable, and ready for anything the SEAL world could throw at her next. The fourth day's exercise began before dawn, the air heavy with mist and anticipation, as Lily Sparrow Matthews and her SEAL team were briefed on a field simulation that replicated an active hostile engagement. A high-value target had to be extracted from a rugged, open terrain while under simulated enemy fire, with unpredictable hazards, environmental obstacles, and timed objectives designed to push every recruit beyond their limits. And as they moved out, Lily's senses sharpened, muscles coiling, heart racing, because this was the first true test of real-world field conditions, where every decision carried weight, every misstep had consequences, and instinct, strategy, and leadership would be tested simultaneously, and almost immediately the terrain revealed its dangers. Jagged rocks, unstable ground, hidden depressions, and simulated traps that could impede the team's progress. Yet Lily moved with fluid precision, scanning angles, predicting potential ambush points, signaling teammates with concise gestures, and maintaining the flow of movement under extreme pressure. And the first simulated hostile appeared suddenly from cover, firing, forcing Lily to pivot, dive, and roll to safety while coordinating a counter, neutralizing the threat with surgical precision, and guiding her team toward cover, every movement instinctive, calculated, and efficient. While rival recruits and observers watched in astonishment, murmurs spreading, "She's untouchable, how is she anticipating everything?" I've never seen that level of composure. And as they advanced, a larger complication arose. Multiple simulated hostiles emerged from concealed positions, attacking simultaneously, forcing a rapid recalculation of strategy, and Lily, recognizing the threat instantly, issued rapid-fire commands, coordinated flanking maneuvers, redirected momentum, and neutralized each threat with precision, all while keeping her team synchronized, morale high, and the mission objective in focus. And when a rival operative attempted to ambush them from a blind corner, Lily anticipated the feint, countered with flawless timing, and redirected him into a simulated barricade, muscles screaming, lungs burning, mind operating at hyperspeed, because hesitation could spell failure. And as the team reached a critical choke point, a narrow ridge over simulated minefields, Lily calculated timing, spacing, and movement with razor-sharp accuracy, leading her team across with perfect synchronization, pivoting, vaulting, and sliding where necessary. And even as simulated enemy fire intensified, environmental hazards multiplied, and fatigue threatened to slow them, Lily maintained complete composure, guiding every teammate with precision, while neutralizing threats with unerring instinct and skill. And the instructors, observing from elevated positions, erupted in astonishment. Whistles shrieking, radios crackling, murmurs of disbelief spreading. "She's operating beyond training, her situational awareness is unreal. I've never seen reflexes like that in anyone." And when they finally approached the extraction point, the final obstacle emerged. A steep, muddy incline with limited cover, timed precisely to force critical decision-making, and Lily executed a flawless sequence of maneuvers, coordinating her team, neutralizing simulated hostiles, guiding movement, vaulting, pivoting, sliding, and securing the objective with perfect timing, muscles burning, heart pounding, lungs heaving, mind razor-sharp. And as the last teammate crossed the extraction line, Lily allowed herself a brief, triumphant smile, breath ragged, uniform streaked with mud and sweat, because she had survived her first high-stakes field challenge under enemy fire, dominated every obstacle, and proven her leadership, instinct, and adaptability under extreme conditions. And yet even in that moment of victory, she felt a ripple of anticipation, knowing that the real challenges, the unpredictable, chaotic, and life-or-death scenarios of actual missions, were only beginning. And as she adjusted her gear, wiped grime from her face, and signaled her team to regroup, she whispered under her breath, a mixture of humor, resolve, and steel, "The storm doesn't just move, it dominates," leaving a lingering sense of suspense, admiration, and the undeniable knowledge that Lily Sparrow Matthews was far from finished, untouchable, unstoppable, and ready to face whatever the SEAL world could throw at her next. The fifth-day simulation began in near darkness, the compound cloaked in fog and the faint hum of distant alarms vibrating through the air, as Lily Sparrow Matthews and her SEAL team were briefed on a high-stakes, full-scale engagement. A rival SEAL squad, known for aggressive tactics, stealth, and improvisation, would attempt to intercept them during a mock extraction, forcing split-second decision-making, rapid adaptation, and flawless coordination. And from the first step into the rugged, obstacle-strewn terrain, Lily's senses ignited, scanning every shadow, listening for subtle disturbances, calculating angles of approach and anticipating moves, muscles coiled, heart racing, mind operating at hyperspeed, because this was no ordinary training exercise. This was a war game designed to push even the most seasoned operatives to the brink. And almost immediately the rival team struck with precision, attacking from multiple directions, firing blanks, launching smoke, and forcing recruits to pivot, duck, roll, and coordinate in perfect synchronization. Yet Lily moved like a force of nature, sidestepping attacks, neutralizing threats with calculated efficiency, and directing her team with authority, issuing rapid commands, guiding movement, and exploiting environmental advantages to maintain momentum, while rival operatives were forced to react to her unpredictable, lightning-fast tactics. And when one aggressive opponent attempted to flank her team through a narrow corridor, Lily anticipated the feint instantly, countering with perfect timing, redirecting his momentum into a simulated barricade, and pressing forward without hesitation, muscles burning, lungs heaving, mind razor-sharp, because in the chaos of combat, hesitation was defeat, and as the simulation escalated, environmental hazards intensified, crumbling stairwells, mud-slicked slopes, hidden tripwires, and intermittent alarms designed to disorient and disrupt. Yet Lily flowed through them all, seamlessly pivoting, vaulting, sliding, coordinating teammates, neutralizing threats, and maintaining control under extreme pressure. And as the rival team attempted a coordinated ambush near a critical choke point, Lily calculated timing, spacing, and angles perfectly, issuing precise signals, countering the attack, and executing takedowns with fluid, surgical accuracy, while her teammates followed instinctively, synchronized, disciplined, and fully confident in her leadership, and the instructors, observing from elevated positions, erupted with astonishment. Whistles shrieking, radios crackling, murmurs spreading like wildfire. She's untouchable. Her reflexes are beyond comprehension. She's rewriting tactical playbooks, and when the final extraction point emerged, an elevated, precarious ridge with limited cover and a simulated hostage to secure, Lily orchestrated a flawless sequence, directing teammates, neutralizing the last wave of opposition, vaulting barriers, sliding under beams, rolling, pivoting, and coordinating movement with perfect timing, muscles screaming, lungs burning, heart pounding, mind operating at peak clarity. And as the team secured the objective and crossed the extraction line, breath ragged, uniform streaked with mud and sweat, the rival team stopped, stunned, expressions a mixture of disbelief and grudging respect, whispering to one another, "She did the impossible. I can't believe a kid led that." We were outmaneuvered at every turn, and even the head instructor, Colonel Harris, shook his head in amazement, murmuring, "I've never seen that level of dominance in anyone, let alone a 10-year-old, and Lily, small but unyielding, allowed herself a faint, triumphant smile, eyes bright, because she had not only survived her first full-scale life-or-death simulation against seasoned operatives but had led her team flawlessly, adapted instantaneously, and neutralized every threat with instinct, skill, and unshakable composure. Yet even in victory she felt the thrill of anticipation, knowing that the challenges ahead, the unpredictability, the chaos, and the split-second high-stakes decisions of SEAL operations, were only beginning, and with a quiet, determined whisper under her breath, blending humor, courage, and steel, she said, "The storm doesn't end with one battle, it only grows stronger," leaving the lingering sense of suspense, awe, and undeniable knowledge that Lily Sparrow Matthews was unstoppable, untouchable, and ready to dominate any mission, rival, or challenge the SEAL world could throw at her next, the storm within her only beginning to unleash its full fury. The sixth day began with a foreboding chill, the sun barely piercing the dense fog over the SEAL training grounds, as Lily Sparrow Matthews received a briefing for a mission unlike any she had faced before. A high-intensity solo survival and rescue simulation designed to push mental fortitude, physical endurance, and rapid tactical decision-making to their absolute limits, and as she stepped into the rugged terrain, a combination of rocky hills, treacherous ravines, and partially flooded paths, her senses sharpened instantly, muscles coiling, mind racing, because this was not about speed or strength alone. It was about judgment under pressure, courage in isolation, and instinctive leadership without immediate support. And the moment she advanced, the first challenge emerged. A collapsed bridge over a simulated river, rushing water threatening to sweep her off balance, and she had only seconds to calculate a safe crossing route, assess the integrity of the debris, and time her leap precisely, heart hammering, breath shallow, mind analyzing angles, distances, and risks in a fraction of a second. And as she vaulted across with perfect timing, landing lightly, she immediately heard the next alarm. A simulated hostage trapped in an unstable structure with smoke filling the corridors, hazards collapsing around her, requiring precise maneuvering, tactical awareness, and split-second decisions. And Lily advanced, sidestepping falling debris, pivoting around obstacles, neutralizing simulated threats, and signaling imaginary teammates with crisp, clear gestures, all while managing rising fatigue, adrenaline surges, and the psychological weight of isolation. And then the personal challenge revealed itself. a moral dilemma embedded within the simulation, forcing her to choose between a high reward but risky rescue of a hostage, or a safer route that ensured her own survival and mission success. And in that instant Lily's mind raced, weighing options, calculating probabilities and considering consequences, muscles trembling, lungs burning, heart pounding, because in real operations, leadership wasn't just about execution, it was about judgment under uncertainty, courage when the stakes were impossible, and responsibility for every life involved. And after a heartbeat of deliberation she made the choice, moving with decisive speed toward the riskier path, vaulting, sliding, rolling, neutralizing threats and securing the hostage with surgical precision, all while coordinating imaginary teammates and maintaining perfect composure. And the instructors, observing the simulation remotely, murmured in astonishment, "Her instincts are beyond training," she calculated risk with the precision of a veteran operative. "I can't believe she made that decision flawlessly at 10 years old." And as she advanced to the extraction point, the final test appeared, a narrow ridge with simulated explosives scattered across it, smoke reducing visibility to near zero, and a rival operative attempting to intercept her, forcing immediate tactical adaptation. And Lily responded instantly, pivoting, countering, neutralizing, and navigating the treacherous path with flawless precision, muscles screaming, lungs heaving, mind hyper-alert, heart pounding with exhilaration and focus. And when she finally reached the extraction zone, breath ragged, uniform soaked in sweat and mud, she allowed herself a fleeting, triumphant smile because she had not only survived the most psychologically and physically demanding simulation yet but had executed every decision, maneuver and calculation with brilliance, courage and instinctive skill, proving beyond doubt that age, size, or expectation had no bearing on her dominance. And yet even in victory she felt the thrill of anticipation, knowing that the SEAL world, its unpredictability, its chaos, and its impossible challenges, was only just beginning. And as she adjusted her gear, wiped grime from her face and signaled the simulation complete, she whispered under her breath, humor and steel threading through her words, "The storm doesn't just endure, it decides," leaving a lingering sense of suspense, admiration, and the undeniable knowledge that Lily Sparrow Matthews was untouchable, unstoppable, and ready to dominate whatever mission, rival, or challenge the SEAL world would throw at her next, her journey only growing more intense, more dangerous and more awe-inspiring with every passing trial. Day 7 dawned with a harsh wind cutting across the SEAL training compound, the fog thick and suffocating as Lily Sparrow Matthews and her team received the briefing for what the instructors called the ultimate leadership trial, a simulated high-intensity assault and extraction under life-or-death conditions, with rival operatives, environmental hazards, and timed objectives designed to test every facet of decision-making, courage, tactical knowledge, and team coordination. And as Lily stepped onto the terrain, a sprawling urban battlefield littered with debris, narrow alleyways, multi-story buildings, and unpredictable hazards, her senses immediately heightened, muscles coiling, mind sharpening, because this was no longer just about individual skill or instinct. This was about leadership under chaos, guiding a team through deadly uncertainty and maintaining morale, composure, and operational integrity under extreme stress. And almost immediately the simulation erupted into chaos. Rival SEAL teams advanced from multiple angles, simulated gunfire erupted, smoke filled the corridors, alarms blared, and environmental hazards appeared without warning, forcing instant decision-making. Yet Lily moved with fluid precision, issuing rapid, crisp commands to her team, signaling positions, coordinating movement, neutralizing threats, and anticipating enemy maneuvers with uncanny accuracy. And when a massive simulated explosion blocked their primary route, she pivoted instantly, calculating a viable alternative, directing teammates with perfect clarity, all while dodging debris, rolling under obstacles and maintaining momentum, muscles screaming, lungs burning, mind razor-sharp, heart pounding. And as the rival team attempted to flank her squad through a blind corridor, Lily anticipated the feint, countered with surgical precision, redirected their momentum and pressed forward, all while maintaining cohesion, morale, and operational focus, because in the chaos of life-or-death combat hesitation could cost lives. And when an unexpected moral decision arose, a simulated hostage trapped in a structurally unstable building, Lily's instincts combined with tactical calculation, weighing risk and reward, determining the optimal path, and executing a flawless extraction with her team, neutralizing threats and maintaining order despite environmental collapse, mud-slicked surfaces and simulated gunfire. And the instructors, observing remotely, erupted in astonishment. Whistles shrieking, radios crackling, murmurs of disbelief spreading like wildfire. "Her leadership is unreal," she's directing like a veteran commander. I've never seen reflexes, judgment and composure like that in anyone. And as the team approached the final extraction point, a precarious ridge over simulated minefields with limited cover, Lily orchestrated a flawless sequence, guiding each teammate with perfect timing, neutralizing the final wave of simulated opposition, vaulting, sliding, pivoting, rolling, and securing the objective with surgical precision, muscles screaming, lungs heaving, mind hyperalert, heart racing. And when the team crossed the extraction line, breath ragged, uniforms soaked in sweat and mud, rival operatives froze, expressions a mixture of disbelief, respect and awe, muttering under their breath, "She dominated every move, how is a 10-year-old leading that?" We were outmaneuvered at every turn, and even the head instructor, Colonel Harris, shook his head, voice tinged with awe and disbelief. I've never seen that level of leadership, instinct and dominance in anyone, let alone a child. And Lily, small but indomitable, allowed herself a faint, triumphant smile, knowing she had not only survived but thrived in the ultimate leadership trial, executing every decision, maneuver and calculation with brilliance, courage and instinct, proving beyond doubt that size, age and expectation could not contain her skill, dominance and leadership. Yet even in victory, anticipation coursed through her, the thrill of the unknown, the next unpredictable mission, and the next high-stakes challenge lingering in her mind. And with a quiet, determined whisper, blending humor, courage and steel, she said, "The storm doesn't just command, it conquers," leaving a lingering sense of suspense, awe, and the undeniable knowledge that Lily Sparrow Matthews was unstoppable, untouchable and ready to face any mission, rival or challenge the SEAL world could throw at her next, her journey only growing more intense, more dangerous and more awe-inspiring with every passing trial. The final day of the SEAL training exercise dawned under a heavy gray sky, wind whipping across the compound as Lily Sparrow Matthews and her team were briefed on a mission unlike any other. A full-scale, multi-objective operation combining urban assault, high-risk extraction, enemy engagement, environmental hazards, and surprise contingencies designed to push every recruit to the absolute limits of endurance, skill, and tactical ingenuity. And as Lily stepped onto the rugged terrain, a maze of crumbling buildings, narrow alleys, unstable walkways and unpredictable cover, her senses ignited, muscles coiling, mind racing, because this was the culmination of every skill she had honed, every instinct she had sharpened, and every lesson she had learned. And almost immediately chaos erupted. Rival SEAL teams struck from multiple angles, simulated gunfire rang out, smoke and alarms filled every corridor, and environmental hazards, collapsing stairwells, mud-slicked surfaces, hidden tripwires, forced instant decisions. Yet Lily moved with fluid precision, leading her team with authority, pivoting, vaulting, sliding and coordinating maneuvers under pressure, while simultaneously anticipating enemy tactics, neutralizing threats and maintaining perfect cohesion, muscles screaming, lungs heaving, mind hyperalert, heart pounding. And as they advanced toward the first objective, a simulated high-value target held in a precarious, multi-story building, unexpected complications arose. Structural instability, rival operatives attempting ambushes from blind corners and environmental traps designed to disorient, all forcing instantaneous tactical recalculations. And Lily responded instinctively, directing her team, countering attacks, neutralizing threats with surgical precision, and adapting to the shifting battlefield with a combination of skill, courage and instinctive brilliance, while the instructors, observing from above, erupted in astonishment. Whistles shrieking, radios crackling, murmurs of disbelief spreading. "She's untouchable, her situational awareness is beyond comprehension, I've never seen reflexes and tactical judgment like that in anyone." And as Lily's team secured the first objective and moved toward the second, an extraction across unstable terrain under simulated hostile fire, the stakes escalated further, rival teams coordinating flanks, environmental hazards multiplying, and time constraints tightening. Yet Lily orchestrated flawless maneuvers, neutralizing every threat, issuing precise commands and maintaining team alignment with surgical efficiency. And when the final obstacle appeared, a narrow ridge over simulated explosives with enemy operatives attempting to intercept from above and below, Lily's mind processed every variable in a split second, muscles coiled, heart racing, breath steady, and she led her team across with perfect timing, vaulting, sliding, pivoting, neutralizing threats and securing the final extraction point, while her teammates moved in complete synchronization, inspired by her calm authority and relentless precision. And as the last team member crossed the line, rival operatives froze, eyes wide with disbelief and grudging respect, muttering under their breath, She dominated every move, we were outmaneuvered at every turn. How is a 10-year-old leading this? And even the head instructor, Colonel Harris, voice tinged with awe and disbelief, murmured, I've never seen anyone command, adapt, and dominate with such instinct and authority, let alone a child. And Lily, small but unyielding, allowed herself a fleeting, triumphant smile, sweat and mud streaking her uniform, muscles trembling, lungs burning, heart pounding, knowing she had not only survived but excelled in the most demanding high-stakes simulation of her life, executing every decision, maneuver and calculation with brilliance, courage and unshakable instinct. Yet even in that victory, a subtle tension lingered. A flicker in the shadows suggested that the challenges were far from over, that rival forces, unpredictable scenarios and unseen variables were still out there, waiting for the next test, and with a quiet, resolute whisper threading through her words, blending humor, courage and steel, she said, the storm doesn't just end with one victory, it watches, it waits and it strikes again, leaving a lingering sense of suspense, anticipation and undeniable knowledge that Lily Sparrow Matthews was unstoppable, untouchable, and ready to dominate whatever mission, rival or challenge the SEAL world could throw at her next, her journey only beginning to reveal the full magnitude of the storm she had become. And as she looked toward the horizon, mud-slicked, sweat-soaked, muscles trembling, eyes bright, the faintest smirk hinted that she welcomed the next impossible challenge, ready to face it with the same fearless brilliance that had carried her through every trial, leaving everyone who witnessed her in awe, inspired, and anxious for what the next storm would bring.